Well then, what's the matter with you? Are you hypo or what? A hypo what? Hypoglycemia. Sounds familiar? You know that not so pleasant moment when you feel weak, shaky, sweaty, your head may spin, your heart palpitates slightly, and your hunger may suddenly kick in. Relax, except in the case of a pathology diagnosed by a doctor, hypoglycemia is not serious. In fact, there are very simple ways of avoiding it. It's simply a sudden drop in the level of glucose and therefore carbohydrates in our blood. Carbohydrates. Here we go. This is one of the 3 essential macronutrients our bodies need to work on, along with proteins and fats. Carbohydrates are also what we usually call sugars. They are like fuel for our body's super machine. To be used by our bodies, these carbohydrates simply have to be converted into glucose. So, when we eat carbohydrate-rich foods such as bread, pasta, or fruit, our bodies work their magic to convert them into glucose, a precious source of energy. Let's face it, not all sources of carbohydrates have the same effect on our bodies. Complex carbohydrates, found in legumes and whole grain cereals, for example, are the best. They provide stable, lasting energy throughout the day. Simple carbohydrates, such as table sugar and fruit, dried or otherwise, are more likely to give an immediate energy boost. They can be useful, but will quickly run out, leaving us flat. The famous hypoglycemia. That's why consuming these different types of carbohydrates in a balanced way that is adapted to our needs ensures that our body gets what it needs to function optimally and over the long term. But let's get back to those carbohydrates. Once transformed, or rather broken down into glucose by our bodies, these energy molecules fuel each of our cells, our muscles, our brain, and even our heart. Without them, it's impossible to run, think, or even breathe. That's why our body alerts us with the symptoms of hypoglycemia when it suddenly runs out of carbohydrates. We can see where you're coming from, but no, eating sugar galore is not the answer. Conversely, when we consume too much sugar, especially that hidden in processed foods such as soft drinks, biscuits, or ready meals, our bodies work overtime to absorb it. Too much is too much, and too much sugar is not properly absorbed. So, what happens to that extra sugar? It is transformed into undesirable fats stored in various places in our body. In the long term, this accumulation creates health problems. Type 2 diabetes, obesity, metabolic disorders, etc. So, while carbohydrates are essential as part of a balanced diet, they need to be consumed in a way that is adapted to our needs and our physical activity, for example. To make the right choices without going overboard, choose unprocessed or minimally processed foods and keep an eye out for hidden sugars. So, what does this have to do with sport? Well, when you do sport, carbohydrates are an essential source of energy. They also help replenish glycogen reserves in the post-exercise period. Glycogen, along with lipids, is the reserve from which our body draws to avoid a slump. So, for optimum training and rapid recovery, the idea is to eat a healthy diet with a balance of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. In a nutshell, let's not demonize all sugars. They can be our allies provided they are consumed correctly. So, enjoy your meal and your session.